I was always indifferent about the idea of a new Scooby-Doo movie, although on paper the idea of a stylized animated Scooby-Doo film is actually good. It was now time for a Scooby-Doo theatrical movie that's actually faithful to the visual style of the original show. Now, I'm not really a fan of Scooby-Doo. I feel like it's kind of a once and done concept, because basically every single episode of the original show was the same. Sure, you can try to make new things with an old concept to make it feel fresh. I remember liking a lot the 2000 show, What's New Scooby-Doo, and it had a badass theme song.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery.
But it's been years since the last time I watched that show, so I don't know if it will still hold up. Anyway, I remember first hearing about the new Scooby-Doo movie in the legendary Ralph the Movie Maker's video of Chips.
Dax Shepard has written and directed nothing but flops his entire career, and is currently working on Scooby?
I was like, really? A director of Everyone is Eating Everyone's Ass Now will direct a new Scooby-Doo movie? But then he was fired from the project, and I was like, whew, okay. He was replaced by a director who apparently has had experience in directing some Hanna Barbera movies, including... Okay, never mind. Then some renders of the characters were revealed, and I was like, okay, probably this film will at least look nice and stylized. Then the casting was announced, and Zac Efron and Mark Wahlberg.
What? No!
Then the trailer was released.
Can you do the trailer guy voice?
In a world destroyed by evil.
And apparently Scooby-Doo was named after the Scooby Snacks.
Hey, Scooby!
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
It was just as stupid as the Han Solo name origin. Remember that?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
Or that awful Mario movie. Remember that?
Last name?
Mario.
Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
The second trailer was even worse. Why were they playing Born to Be Yours by Kygo in the background? Is this like a love story? Or was it because it sounded cool? Oh my god, a dab. And Netflix joke?
You have to pay for Netflix?
And who are these people? Is this really a Scooby-Doo movie? I was like, okay, probably this is going to be just another dumb kids movie. Not gonna watch it. But then the COVID-19 pandemic took us by the ass and closed all the theaters in the world. So many films got delayed. 2020 was shaping up to be a year of barely any films released. So I was like, okay, I think I'll watch it. It will probably give me enough content to make a review in which I rip it to shreds. But somehow it managed to be way worse than I expected. I was expecting a generic kids movie with bad writing, bad jokes, and bad pop culture references, but my god. My god. This isn't a Scooby-Doo movie. Scooby-Doo is on the poster, Mr. Ink is on the poster, but they have nothing to do in the entire film. So the movie starts with the origin story. I already mentioned the way that Scooby-Doo got his name is laughably stupid.
Do.
Alright, if the dog has a middle name, that is no punishment for damages or theft. I don't like it, but them's the laws. Well, have a good day, sir. Mr. Doobie-Doo.
Then there's a shot-for-shot recreation of the intro of the original Scooby-Doo show, because people like shot-for-shot remakes of old things, right? Just look at how many people watch The Lion King. Anyway, this intro is going to be the last time this movie resembles a Scooby-Doo story, because it would only get worse from here.
Simon Cowell! In the shallow. In the shallow.
In the next sequence, Mr. Ink meets with Simon Cowell. What? Is this supposed to be funny? Why is he here? And then Shaggy and Scooby leave for no reason. Or at least I didn't get what the hell they decided to leave.
You can't count on friendship. People change. And when you get into real trouble, friendship won't save the day.
Like, we don't need this, Scoob. Let's bounce.
Yeah, we know when we're not wanted.
No. Wait.
Come on, guys.
He didn't mean it.
They go to play bowling, and then an action sequence with a bunch of funny shenanigans happens.
Have about you guys? Hot wings this year? Got it. And for you? Oh no! We're out of calamari!
Then they're abducted by what looks like an alien ship. And who are you? They're introduced to Blue Falcon and Dynamite. Then we're straight into the action again, and I have no idea what's going on.
Well, of course. Guys, Adventure's calling, and it's for you.
Hello, Adventure. Yes, will you take my name and number off your list?
Then Shaggy and Scooby join the adventure because they want to show everyone that they're not the weak links. The Mystery Inc. searches for Scooby and Shaggy, and just because it's written on the script, they manage to get all the information they need. And it's just a bunch of exposition alongside a bunch of bad jokes.
He also stole the genealogical records of a dozen dogs from the Global Kennel Club. And apparently he's been stealing Netflix by using his mother's account.
That is not fair for the rest of us who have to pay for Netflix.
You have to pay for Netflix?
How did they not notice that? We get a bunch of filler, then Vilma keeps discovering the secrets of the universe, and in a single day discovered that Scooby is related to Alexander the Great.
Scooby-Doo is the last descendant of Peritas? Who's Peritas? He was Alexander the Great's dog.
Also, what is this bullshit? She discovers that in a website. They didn't know this BS even when they have more than 10 years being supposedly friends? And of course, they can't fucking turn around and look back. The robot is recording everything, and obviously gives that information to Dick Dastardly later. Then another action sequence, then Dick Dastardly comes and tries to kidnap Scooby-Doo because he needs him.
Rick.
Dick! Dick! Dick!
Hilarious. Then Blue Falcon wants to give Scooby a hero suit. If you ever wanted to see a superhero version of Scooby, then I think this movie is for you. Then another boring sequence with Mystery Inc. Again, with a bunch of hilarious jokes. Then a police car stops them, and it's a girl, and we get the annoying cliche of male character stares at a female character in slow motion and with big hearts around him, basically implying that's love at first sight, with some cheesy music in the background.
Trying to hold back this feeling.
Then it's revealed that it was Dick Dastardly in disguise, and then he captured them. And of course, thank God that Dick Dastardly has no security and didn't get rid of the robot he beheaded before, so obviously the robot for some reason has feelings and helps him escape because he hates Dick for what he did to him apparently. It's all just so fucking convenient. Then the Mystery Inc., instead of leaving and just focusing on rescuing Scooby and Shaggy, decide to fumble around and not caring about getting killed or captured, and then they discover the villain's plan. Then Dick comes, but because he's a total joke of a villain, he decides to stop and tell the story of how he lost his dog.
Who is Muttley?
Muttley was my partner, my criminal co-conspirator, until...
Just a bunch of exposition no one asked for. I still have no idea why he wants the Mystery Inc. alive. Why can't he just kill them? I have no idea. Shaggy, Scooby, Dynamite, Blue Falcon, and DD Skies get to an island, and then Captain Caveman, who's voiced by a black man, by the way. I don't think I accept any comments about this being racist.
Hello? Your tiny little brains probably can't understand me.
There's another action sequence with Captain Caveman. Then Shaggy and Fred go to rescue Scooby and the others, but Fred is revealed to be just Dick Dastardly in disguise. I definitely didn't see that coming, like, at all. Then Dick finally takes Scooby to the gates of hell. He finds the treasure and his dog in this emotional scene.
So many things we never got to do together.
You're alive? You're alive!
We get one final action sequence. Then apparently to close the gate, one must stay inside. And Shaggy decides to sacrifice himself. A character I don't give a fuck about, because he did nothing the entire film. And of course, because this movie doesn't want to have any consequences, Shaggy just comes back for absolutely no reason. they live happily ever after, and because we know this film has absolutely no creativity, there's a mandatory dance at the end. What a bunch of nonsense. None of the characters had anything to do. The roles of Blue Falcon, Dynamite, and DD Skies could, or Sykes? Skies, oh, okay. Could have been replaced by the 3 members of the Mystery Inc. It would have been much better if the characters we all know and love stayed together the entire time and flesh out their characters and showing their chemistry with fun interactions, but no, I didn't get that. And my problem isn't that Blue Falcon and Dynamite are here. After all, they have been present in other Scooby-Doo media in the past. My problem is that their inclusion feels forced. They don't develop chemistry, their interactions feel forced, every character is one note, and in the end their presence was completely pointless. This mission could have been easily solved by the Mystery Inc. So in my original Letterboxd review, I mentioned that I at least appreciated the visuals and the cartoonish style the first time I watched it, but now I noticed that I was totally wrong. I now can't even appreciate the visuals since the art direction is totally all over the place. Shaggy and Scooby look good and faithful to their original designs, but what the fuck happened to the rest of the characters? Fred, Vilma, and Daphne look nothing like the original designs. Simon Cowell looks like he's from a completely different movie. He looks like more realistic. It's so weird. And then you have DD Skies and Blue Falcon who look like Fortnite rejects. And Dick Dastardly looks different for some reason. I think he needed to look like thinner, like a Waluigi. It's all over the fucking place. I just don't get it. If it was a direct-to-video movie, believe me, I wouldn't care at all, and I wouldn't be talking about it at all. And while it's technically a direct-to-video movie because it got released on VOD instead of theaters, what makes it different from other direct-to-video garbage Hanna Barbera releases is how it was marketed. This was made by Warner Animation Group, the studio behind the Lego Movie and Warner Bros. Main studio for feature animated films. It is also the start of a Hanna Barbera Cinematic Universe, and of course it was heavily marketed. Warner Bros. Clearly wanted this to be a big summer release. They wanted to make money, and it shows. This isn't a Scooby-Doo movie, it's a crap superhero movie because superhero movies are what make money. I have no idea what was the intention or the original idea behind this. The studio was probably like, cinematic universes make money, nostalgia makes money, superheroes make money. Let's do a movie that sloppily combines all those elements, making a complete clusterfuck, but who cares? We only care about money. Let's put a D-list director, it will be cheaper and it will save us money we will spend in marketing and casting. This movie is a complete mess. Warner Bros. Did not learn a damn thing about cinematic universes. I think it wasn't enough when they fucked up the DC Extended Universe, and only 7 years after it launched, they are starting to make things right. Hopefully. We could just get a standalone Scooby-Doo film. We need to develop these characters and make them likable and make us care and make us want more from them. And you might think that everyone knows Scooby-Doo characters, everyone knows who Scooby-Doo is, everyone knows who the Mystery Inc. is. Everyone knows these characters, so they don't need no introduction. No, you're wrong. They need introduction. They need to be developed, because they're basically a new version of these characters. We need to know them. That's what Marvel did with the original Iron Man film. It established the character of Tony Stark first, and then set up a cinematic universe after that. Warner Bros. Started in a decent way with a standalone Superman movie. But then they rushed the crossovers and introduced a new Batman, a new Wonder Woman, and a new Lex Luthor, and rushed the stories of so many comic books into one film. No, that's when they fucked up. And Scooby-Doo basically feels like another Batman v Superman. It has no vision, and instead of focusing on developing characters, they're just shoving in reference after reference to another Hanna-Barbera properties with absolutely no rhyme or reason. In the island sequence, I would have preferred to have an Indiana Jones type of sequence in which the characters use their intelligence to solve puzzles in order to get to the desired object. But no, it's a fight with Captain Caveman. We need more references. Sure. It's clear by now that this film tries to be like Marvel, And there are countless dramatic reveals of characters and names. Like if the movie's expecting the audience to clap as it was an exciting reveal.
Scooby!
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
Alright. The dog has a middle...
You can call me Captain Caveman!
It's hilarious. Imagine the reaction videos we would have if this did release in theaters. I have no interest in watching the next installments of this stupid idea of Hanna Barbera Cinematic Universe, and I don't recommend this at all. Skip this movie. There's no reason to watch this corporate product that makes no sense and that should have just been another direct-to-video movie no one cares about.